is Abby Johnson with WebPro News coming to you from the Blog World Expo in Los Angeles. And joining us right now is John Jantsch of Duct Tape Marketing. How are you?
I am just great, thanks.
Good to have you today. We want to talk a little bit about small businesses and the whole the whole big transition of them moving online. Why is this such an issue for them?
Well, I think change, right?
Yeah.
I mean, change in general, and it's just one of their jobs, right? I mean, in most typical small businesses, they're making it, fixing it, shipping it, doing everything else, and so now all of a sudden, we as marketing experts are coming to them and saying, "Oh, there's this whole new world of stuff you have to do," and it's just hard because they're very resource strapped. But there's no question that the online component has become significant for every kind of business. I don't care if you're a plumber in your local community and all you want to do is draw a business in your local community. The world now is going out there and finding those kind of businesses online. So even if you transact, your actual business across the desk or in a home, the online component has become so significant for people even discovering that you exist.
Absolutely. Well, what about the social component? Let's talk about that, because a lot of businesses, traditional businesses especially, they don't really understand the online space at all. Social is pretty much mainstream, and so they're like, okay, I can grasp that, but they don't get how it actually works. So what about those areas?
Well, part of it's all the hype. Unfortunately, what they see is a stalker on Facebook or something, and that's their idea of Facebook now. I think the biggest challenge is to look at all of these new outlets and start prioritizing and start saying, okay, where can we tie this together with our content strategy? How does this impact our search results? And I think when you start doing that, quite frankly, a lot of times I'll tell people just start using some of these tools to listen to what your actual existing customers are saying, and even that I think can then start to provide some real value. They start saying, oh wow, this makes it easier to sell them more. This makes it easier to get referrals. This makes it easier to connect and doing kind of the things they're already doing, but now using these powerful tools to actually build relationships faster and deeper. And I think that once they start getting that, then the idea that, oh, this is just some new foreign stuff goes away, because it becomes, this is a new way to do some things we're already doing.
Absolutely. Well, what would you say is the biggest thing that small businesses are doing wrong in this transition to online? Is there one thing?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is to look at these as disconnected parts. A lot of times it's, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And probably the biggest thing, and I know people get tired of hearing about strategy sometimes, but when it comes to these tools, the biggest thing is to look at how can they, and in fact, what I often tell people is when you're trying to analyze any new tool or any new tactic, look at your existing customer base now, and see if that tool or that tactic will actually allow you to serve them better first, or communicate with them better, or whatever it does. And if you can answer yes to that, then you probably should spend some time jumping in and learning about that tool. And I think that if you keep it in that vein, it's pretty easy to stay away from the kind of the wild goose chase of the new hot thing that everybody's talking about.
Right. Also, like the point you brought up a little bit earlier, the fact that it all works together. It's not search over on this end and social on the other end of the spectrum. It all ties together, and it should.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. The idea is to get someone who has a need to know, like, and trust you. That's kind of my working definition of marketing in general. And so all of these things just work together. And I think we are fortunately past sort of the period when social was thought of as some sort of new, wing of marketing. It just is marketing. And it's just, more importantly, it's just become behavior, from our prospects and our customers. And that's why we really have to make sure that we integrate it. And frankly, not even just into the marketing, but into every aspect of the organization. And customer service, certainly, and in hiring. It's just become important in all of those elements.
Right. It's where everyone is, so businesses have to embrace it. Okay, well, John, thank you so much for talking with us. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
You're very welcome. This is Abby Johnson reporting for WebPro News.